CeeDee Lamb has quietly been one of the best wide receivers this season, recording 497 yards in 6 games. Despite Amari Cooper's presence, Lamb has taken over the #1 role in Dallas, proving to be a steal for the Cowboys back at the 2020 NFL Draft. Lamb made an immediate impact in the pros, nearly going for over 1,000 yards as a rookie, despite a messy quarterback situation with an injured Dak Prescott. Coming out of Oklahoma, Lamb was clearly a pro-ready receiver and proved that he was a smart, physical guy who could come into the league and be productive early. As a junior in Norman, Lamb had over 1,300 yards and was Jalen Hurts' top target as he finished second in Heisman Trophy voting. The year prior, Lamb had over 1,100 yards catching passes from Kyler Murray. As a freshman, he had over 800 yards with, get this, Baker Mayfield. In 3 years at Oklahoma, Lamb caught passes from 3 current NFL starting quarterbacks, 2 of which won the Heisman and were drafted first overall. Truly a ridiculous streak of good quarterback play, and now he's dominating with Dak Prescott this year, but not as much as Jamar Chase, who has reunited with his college quarterback and first overall pick, Joe Burrow. But if you want more content like this, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily upload. Burrow was the clear #1 pick going into 2020 after he put up one of the greatest college football seasons of all time, leading LSU to an undefeated record and winning the Heisman. His collegiate career was a bit of a mess, starting at Ohio State for 3 years before he transferred to Baton Rouge and turned himself into an elite passer. He already has helped the Bengals turn it around, pushing Cincinnati out to a 4-2 record to start 2021. Burrow showed promise as a rookie, but his season ended with a torn ACL and MCL, ending his chances of winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. But on the other side of the ball, Chase Young won Defensive Rookie of the Year in Washington. Young and Washington haven't gotten off to a great start this season, but he has already shown that he has what it takes to be a stud in the pros, recording 7.5 sacks and forcing 3 fumbles as a rookie. He was arguably the best player in the class coming to the draft after a ridiculous senior year at Ohio State, where he had 16.5 sacks and forced 7 fumbles. He broke out the year prior, recording 10.5 sacks on a very talented Buckeyes defense that included cornerback Jeff Okuda. Okuda was a star at Ohio State since he stepped in Columbus, starting in every game as a freshman and slowly proving that he was one of the best coverage corners in college football. But his start in the pros has been less than ideal. He didn't play well as a rookie as he dealt with groin and hamstring issues. Okuda certainly looked to get back on pace in 2021, but instead he went down with a torn Achilles in week 1. To make matters worse, Okuda has to play in Detroit. But Andrew Thomas doesn't have it too much better in the Meadowlands. Taking an offensive lineman isn't the sexy pick, but you do what you have to do. It's worked out well for the Giants so far. Thomas has played in every game since being drafted and is well on his way to developing into a cornerstone left tackle to protect Daniel Jones. Thomas dominated at Georgia despite having to play up against some of the best defensive fronts in the SEC week after week. He started every game as a true freshman and went on to be a reliable starter for 3 years before he declared for the draft, where he was selected 1 pick ahead of the guy that cost him a national championship, Tua Tonga Viloa. Tua had the craziest coming out party in college, replacing Jalen Hurts in the national championship and bringing Alabama back to take down Georgia in walk-off fashion. Tua followed it up with a monster 2018 season and was considered a Heisman favorite the next season, but he suffered a devastating hip injury that ended his year. It was a question of whether or not he could get back to full strength, but the Dolphins still took a shot on him at number 5. Tua was benched back and forth as a rookie for Ryan Fitzpatrick, but after he left free agency, it was finally Tua's team this season, but it did not start off great. He suffered a rib injury in week 2 and spent a while out before recently making his return. Tua still has plenty of time to prove himself in the NFL, but Justin Herbert has already made it clear that he is one of the next great NFL quarterbacks. Herbert has had a red-hot start to this season, following up an impressive rookie year where he won Offensive Rookie of the Year and broke the rookie record with 31 touchdowns, adding over 4,000 yards. He has turned the Chargers around in less than 2 years, becoming the player that many believed he could be coming out of Oregon. Herbert shockingly stayed with the Ducks for his senior year, and it paid off, winning the Rose Bowl and passing for 32 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions. He showed extreme talent from the jump in his collegiate career, but there was all these questions about his ability to play in the pros due to the lack of skill in the Pac-12. But Derrick Brown surely didn't have that problem coming out of Auburn. The Panthers' defensive tackle has already made a big impact in the pros, recording 8 tackles for loss during his rookie year. Brown was a star for the Tigers, being named SEC Defensive Player of the Year as a senior after he had 11.5 tackles for loss and forced 2 fumbles. He was a consistent contributor, recording 20 tackles for loss in the 2 years prior for Auburn and taking over a starting role. Brown showed that he had the potential to turn into a defensive stud as a rookie, much like Isaiah Simmons over in Arizona. The Cardinals' number 8 selection was named the ACC Defensive Player of the Year as a junior after he recorded 8 sacks and 16.5 total tackles for loss while forcing 2 fumbles and snagging 3 interceptions. At the linebacker position, Simmons could do whatever Clemson asked of him, helping the Tigers to a national championship in 2018. He started in about half of the Cardinals' games as a rookie, recording 4 tackles for loss and forcing a fumble. But Simmons has already found an increased role this season. He's been lucky enough to play for one of the best teams in the league in 2021, but CJ Henderson didn't have that same faith in his cards, especially not early on. Henderson was drafted by the Jaguars, who have been, well, a disaster. Luckily for Henderson, he was able to escape after Jacksonville shipped him off to the Panthers this season. He was good when he was on the field, but Henderson really struggled to stay healthy as a rookie. Clearly, the Jaguars didn't want to deal with his injury problems and decided to move on. Henderson started in his final 2 years at Florida after an impressive rookie year where he had 4 interceptions. He was named All-SEC in all 3 seasons before declaring for the draft, where he was selected right before a long run of offensive linemen, starting with Jedrick Wills. Wills was solid for the Browns and helped them dramatically improve their offensive line alongside Wyatt Teller and Jack Conklin. He started nearly every game for Cleveland and is molding into a reliable tackle. Now, you can rarely go wrong with a guy from Alabama, and Wills was a stud in Tuscaloosa, starting every game as a sophomore and a junior and being named first-team All-SEC before declaring for the draft. The tackle position in the NFL is so crucial. The Browns got their guy, and the Jets went after theirs with the next pick. Makai Bechten had a rough start to this season, going down with cartilage damage that is set to keep him out for at least over a month. He had some injury problems as a rookie too, but when he was on the field, it was clear why he was considered a top lineman in the draft. He's a true athlete and can be a reliable and dominant tackle like he showed during his 3 years at Louisville. He decided to declare for the draft after a stellar junior year, much like Henry Ruggs. The Raiders took the speedster number 12 after he showcased his talent for 3 years in Tuscaloosa, catching passes from Tua Tonga Viloa and Jalen Hurts. Ruggs didn't play much as a freshman before going for over 700 yards in the next 2 years, proving to be an elite returner as well. He didn't have a great rookie year, but he's clearly already improved greatly in year 2 with 445 yards through 6 games. Ruggs is going to be an important piece for Las Vegas going forward in a potential rebuild, but Tristan Worfs has had quite the opposite start to his career, winning a Super Bowl as a rookie. The Iowa offensive tackle has had the pleasure of blocking for Tom Brady in Tampa Bay, and he's been damn good. He started in every game for the Bucs as a rookie and is proving to be a top player in the class. The Hawkeyes breed good blockers, and Worfs is definitely one of those dudes, being named Big Ten Offensive Lineman of the Year before declaring for the draft, a decision that he surely doesn't regret, already dominating in the trenches against opposing defensive tackles like Javon Kinlaw, who the 49ers took 14th. San Francisco has had a messy few seasons, but that defense still has some studs, and Kinlaw is already one of them. He had 3 tackles for loss and an interception as a rookie. He left for the draft after an impressive season where he was named first team All-SEC at South Carolina after he had 6 sacks. Kinlaw is likely going to be a solid linebacker in the league for years to come if he can stay healthy. But down the West Coast, the Browns snagged the second Alabama wide receiver off the board, Jerry Judy. Judy had some issues with drops as a rookie, but he still had a solid year going for over 800 yards despite poor quarterback play. He was also forced into a bigger role from the jump after Courtland Sutton went down with a torn ACL. His 2021 season isn't off to a great start after he landed on injured reserve following a high ankle sprain in week 1. There's no doubt that he can groom into a productive receiver like he showed at Alabama, recording over 1,100 yards in back-to-back years. If Judy can get back to full strength, he'll be burning opposing corners in no time, just like AJ Terrell. The Falcons got the best rookie corner in Terrell at number 16. He held his own against some very good wideouts and is clearly going to be the future of the Atlanta defensive back unit. Terrell was a beast at Clemson and proved that he could play all over the field. He's going to be a starting corner in the league for a long time, matching up against big-time number 1 wide receivers like CeeDee Lamb. You can make the case for a handful of players ahead of CeeDee Lamb, mainly due to the sheer importance of the quarterback and tackle positions, but there's no doubt that Lamb has completely transformed a Dallas offense that is emerging as one of the top teams in the NFC in 2021. Alongside Dak Prescott, the Cowboys are going to continue decimating opposing defenses for a long time. Dallas made the right decision at number 17, but there were plenty of mistakes with the players drafted before him. Hey, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss a daily upload. Go follow us on TikTok where we're going to be posting content all season long. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter to interact with us and talk all things sports.
Something about the girl that just makes my head wanna twirl. Oh, you got me